Hey guys, it's me, Carly, coming at you with another video, and I want to talk about the Flash and mainly ships. But first, I just have to say, Danielle Panabaker, you are not the first female director to direct a Flash or a Flareoverse episode. You are the first actress to direct a Flareoverse you're the first actress in the Flareoverse to direct a Flash episode and to direct an episode period or be the first actress period to direct any episode, unless I'm wrong, please let me know. But you're not the first female director. And you know what? I am sick and effing tired of you trying to erase other women's achievements, and that light is glitching over there. Shut up, strobe light. Sorry, but I just felt the need to say that because recently on Twitter, there is this thread on Twitter. Hold on, I gotta remember who started the thread so I can shout her out, and, you know. My friend Charlotte on Twitter, GG is a top, is her handle, which stands for Grant Gustin, of course. Started that thread, and you know what? I don't care if the interviewer calls Danielle Panabaker the leading female. I don't care if people call Danielle Panabaker the first female director, even though she's the first actress in the Flareoverse to direct an episode of The Flash. I don't care about any of that. I care that Danielle Panabaker does not care to correct it. And she's just shady as hell for 5 years, and I'm sick of it. And when I learn how to, I will be gathering video clips of her shadiness and prove to you that she is shady as hell. And no, I'm not just reacting to one instance. This is a ongoing pattern of hers, and I'm tired of it, and I want to expose her. And why is she in She Authority again if she's just gonna erase other women's achievements? Oh God, sorry, had to get that off my chest. I'll link the thread down below, but anyways, back on the ships regarding Barry Allen from the CW Flash. Every time we talk about potential love interests or former love interests, we talk about Felicity, who Felicity said that Barry was her ex, even though they went on like 3 dates, but they were never really in a relationship. They talk about, and they kiss once. They talk about Caitlyn, and they always use the picture where it's every man kissing Caitlyn, because that's really pathetic, guys. Like, you guys don't even have one real kiss. And somebody justified Caitlyn kissing Barry as Killer Frost, or when she was trying to kill him as Killer Frost, but she was still in Caitlyn mode, or in Caitlyn format or whatever. And, like, Barry didn't move because that just proves he thinks Caitlyn is hot. He was probably stunned by the kiss. And then people are saying he smiled. He's probably smiling because he unthought himself. Like, really? 2 of the Snowberry kisses, one wasn't even Barry, okay? It was every man, and the other one was Caitlyn trying to kill him with her kiss of death. Literally. Because that's what Killer Frost did. Earth 2 Killer Frost did to those criminals. Like, really? And then you bring up Patty Spivot, who, look, I'm sorry, Chantel, or I think that's her name. You're cute, you're gorgeous, I think you're very attractive, but Patty was not a good character. She was just kind of, look, I am the quirky white girl, and I'm basically like Felicity in cop form, except I'm dating Barry for a short period of time, which she was just an obstacle who Barry didn't treat very all that well, because let's face it, if you're not Iris West Allen, you're not going to get good treatment, because he made Patty basically Patty left because Barry wasn't honest and denied through his teeth that he was the Flash, and then she left. And then I love how people find this to be a cute moment, even though it's manipulative. Is not Linda, we'll get to her in a minute, though. Is Patty texted Barry a fake emergency, which, by the way, thank God she didn't send that to the cops, because that's illegal, to say someone has a gun when they don't, or say someone has a bomb on the plane and they don't. That's against the law, because you can get in a lot of trouble, and you're wasting police's resources by doing that. But she did that because she wanted Barry to know she was right, and to confirm that Barry was the Flash. And he kind of revealed it to her after he stopped vibrating her face, and then she left, and then she's never seen again. Which, people really only liked Patty for 2 reasons, and I'm gonna say it. 1, because she was white, and 3 reasons. 2, she was quirky, and 3, it meant if Barry dated Patty, it means that if Barry dated Patty for a long time, it meant less Iris. But, he dropped her like a hat the moment he thought he had a chance with Iris, just like he did Linda. And then we have Linda, the woman he actually did date, but instead they say it's Felicity, because I guess Felicity's white. But every single time a Barry ship comes up, you mention like 3 white women or 4 white women, but you never mention Linda. They never mention Linda. I wonder why. Oh, I know why. She's Asian, and she's like not white. So, yeah. She's Asian. She's not white. Sorry. Sorry, I didn't mean to scratch my eye like that. But he dated her, and arguably, if in the comics they weren't uncle and niece-in-law, or they weren't, if she wasn't supposed to be with Wally, which she should have been with Wally, because they totally wasted Melise Zhao and Linda Park completely, just by having her date Barry. And she did date Barry, and I would argue that aside from Iris, Linda was probably Barry's best match. Although I didn't really care for the ship because I'm a West Allen shipper. But I did like Linda. I did like the actress who played her, because she was on the show Unfabulous with Jordan Calloway, who plays Khalil, and that guy is 27 years old and he's still playing a freaking teenager. So he's like the Bianca Lawson of the boy version of Bianca Lawson. And it's just kind of suspicious how all these white women get brought up, but the Asian woman who actually did date Barry never is mentioned. She's never mentioned in this. And you know what? Speaking of which, I will take Linda / Dr. Light. I will take any version of Linda to come back and just have her replace Caitlin. Because that's the other thing. Caitlin Snow is the worst doctor ever. She told Cisco, who had a concussion, to go lay down. First off, you are not supposed to tell a patient to go to sleep, a concussed patient to go take a nap or to go to sleep, because they could literally die. And when they finally are able to sleep, you're supposed to wake them up every few hours to make sure they're okay. Like, you don't tell a concussed patient to go lay down because that's brain trauma and that can kill them. So she's horrible. And by the way, I saw her giving chest compressions. You're supposed to do it up here, but here she's doing it like right here. Like, what? No. Yeah. You don't do chest compressions right here. That's where you do the Heimlich maneuver. When someone is choking, you take your fist like this, thumb like this, and then you put it above the belly button, and then you press in and upward to do the Heimlich maneuver. But chest compressions are on your chest. That is why they're called chest compressions. And you do them with a straight arm, and you do them really, really fast. And you do like 200 chest compressions per minute. That's at least what I learned in CPR school. Or CPR certification or whatever. I'm not a doctor, and even I know that crap. And y'all get mad at Iris for knowing what adrenaline means, which is something you learn in middle school. Like, but we're all just okay with Caitlin telling a concussed patient to go lay down. She is so useless. And also, how is she supposed to defeat Cicada when she can't even hold her own in a fight? I mean, she's taken out in like 3 seconds. And she got taken out with a cold gun. Her powers are coldness. She managed to survive sub-zero temperatures because her body can take it. But she can't be... but she gets taken out by a cold gun? Like, really? Like, that's just... That's as stupid as Felicity knocking Black Siren out. Sorry, just... And you know what? Caitlin just... and I know I keep harping on this subject, but... God, Caitlin really bugs me as a character. And people have... the raw-ass audacity to call Iris useless, even though Iris is quick-thinking. She's brave, doesn't hesitate to save people. I mean, hello, she jumped off a building for Barry. And you know what else? Caitlin is the one, sadly, and Iris doesn't have powers, but yet she's more efficient out in the field. But Caitlin gets knocked out. Got knocked out by a fucking cold gun, because how does that work? I don't know. And then and you know what? The other thing that I'm really tired of, I'm tired of Caitlin being called the sweetest person ever. Like, she's not sweet at all. And neither is the actress who plays her, but that's a different point. Caitlin intentionally worked for someone trying to murder the team. Okay, let's see. How is she not sweet? Said that Iris talked too much instead of making a connection with Iris, because both of them lost their husbands, or their significant, well, not significant other, but both of them lost someone they really truly cared about. And yet Caitlyn makes no attempts to sympathize with her, empathize with her. Just says she talks a lot as if that's an issue. Is a classist ass snob towards Jax. I mean, only wanted Henry Hewitt because he was a scientist. But Barry also considered Jax just because, he's smart, has a 4.0. Not everyone's going to be a scientist, Caitlyn, okay? And the line where she says, plus he's trying to make something of himself. I'm just like, other people are trying to make something of themselves too. They don't have to be in science. Like, she is a classist snob. I'm sorry, but she is. It's not as blatant as Felicity's classism because, let's be honest, aside from not being a love interest to Barry, she's basically the Felicity Smoke of the show. And Caitlyn is never held accountable for anything bad she does. She tries to kill. She teams up with Savitar, knowing that he's trying to kill Iris. Because, hell yeah, feminism. Even though she's like the worst. She's the most white feminist I've ever seen in my life. Sorry, but she is a white feminist. 2, she is responsible for HR's death. She's part of the reason that he's 6 feet under. And she's like, oh, I'm really sorry. I have to go find myself. Like, okay, someone just died and you played a part in their death and you're not more, I'm so sorry, what the hell was I thinking? I really gotta make it up to people. She just gave a bullshit apology. And Julian and Cisco don't even say anything. Then she pretended to care about Julian and basically only admitted to bringing him on the team so that he could help find her a cure for her powers, which she didn't take in the first place. And she seemed to have all of her powers under control. So, I don't get that either. But then, after coming off a high, she goes on to work for a human trafficker. And yeah, I know I've talked about this before, but people, I don't care that... Okay, well, I do care, but I don't care if The Flash wants to talk about human trafficking. I don't care if they do a human trafficking storyline, but then give it the weight and the meatiness and the attention it deserves. Because trafficking people, that's not a small offense. That's not that's not like, oh, sorry, I effed up your sandwich at Subway. I screwed up your sandwich type deal. That's I help sell people. And people are going to be like, and I've seen people say, oh, but she defended. But she stopped before Amunet started selling people. Even though Caitlyn literally says this line, oh, I didn't kill anyone, but some people lost some fingers and toes. What do you think she was doing when she said that? What do you think she was talking about? She was mutilating people and cutting off their body parts. She is not a good person. And I'm tired of I'm tired of her being called sweet. I'm tired of any white female character being called sweet when they're the cuntiest human beings. And oh my God, I'm sorry if you're saying that word, but they're literally one of the shittiest human beings ever. And there's And I don't mind them being evil. I don't mind them being... It's not the terrible things they do that piss me off. It's the fact they are never held accountable for the terrible things they do. And speaking of sweet characters, I don't watch Riverdale, but I heard Betty was supposed to be the sweet one. But the clip I watched of her, oh God, she was being such a bitch to Veronica. And just, I don't know. This crap's annoying. And then even after deciding to work with bring in Amunet to help Team Flash, even though she's just as useless as Caitlin. Amunet is as useless as Caitlin. They try to make her appealing. They try to make her likable. And she's not likable. She's a human trafficker. No human trafficker is likable. And Caitlin offers to do another job for Amunet. She said that Killer Frost, like, oh yeah, Killer Frost will do another job for you as long as Caitlin Snow can get what she wants. And I'm just like, this is Caitlin offering to make this deal, by the way. But this is after Barry said that Amunet almost sold her into metahuman slavery. Almost sold him into metahuman slavery. And she says this several episodes after, which was Girls' Night Out. She sees Weeper get tortured and kicked and bruised. But she's still okay making a deal for Amunet. Making a deal with Amunet. She's okay with being willing to do a job for Amunet. This isn't problematic. People will defend this crap. But they can't. But Iris does so much as rolls her eyes. She does so much as make a snarky comment. And people are like, oh my God, Iris is so unsupportive. She's so fucking mean. She's so rude. She's such a horrible person. Oh my God. I'm just like, oh my God. Really? I mean, Caitlin did just joke to her. Well, Killer Frost writes to Caitlin, because apparently they're separate entities and they just want to make her story Swiss cheese. I got blood on this jacket. Don't worry, it's not our blood. Okay. Just, oh, that should not be funny. It's so not funny. It's just, Iris is a victim of your violence. You kidnapped Cecile and held an icicle to her throat. You did so many horrible things, and you're allowed to be let off because of the writers, and the fandom lets you off, but not me. And you never even apologize to Cecile, Iris, or Cynthia, who you almost got killed because of your stupid ass actions. Because you are the worst person on the show, and you're not sweet. And also, I would just like to point out that no sweet person would call someone a cold bitch who's in a mental state after they accidentally get hit with a gun. Specifically a cold gun. Oh, you cold bitch. Even though Nora Fries was in a mental state. But yeah, Caitlin's a really sweet person, guys. She's so sweet. And also, this crap about Caitlin is a better friend to Felicity than Iris. Caitlin said, well, as long as you have love, it's worth fighting for. As long as we have love, you're at least worth fighting for. And then Iris says something along the lines of, don't be Oliver Queen. Don't become Oliver Queen. Okay, Barry? And then she's ripped to shreds for it. And then literally a few lines later in the episode, Oliver is like, I draw in a darkness every time I draw back my bow. He's confirmed it himself that he's a dark person. No, he's not really all that dark. He's just a fucking asshole. And then, the other thing is that this whole Caitlin's a better friend of Felicity. Iris was the one to listen to Felicity. On her special day, Iris's wedding day, Felicity bitched the whole time about her relationship drama with Oliver, and Oliver did the same to Barry on the West Allen wedding day. Felicity always seeks out Iris to hang out with. Felicity always, and you know what? As much as I don't like Felicity or Emily Bett Rickards as an actress, I mean, I like Emily Bett Rickards okay. At least Emily Bett Rickards is an okay actress and has good chemistry with Felicity. Iris and Felicity have great chemistry on screen together, and some of it, I don't even know if it's Iris or Felicity. Some of it I think it's Candace and Emily, because they have really great chemistry together, but... And you know what else? Felicity is the one... No, Iris is the one Felicity called when Oliver was in jail. Not Caitlin, though. Just saying. And you know what? If Iris, on her wedding day, was being interrupted by Nazis and Felicity, and she can still put up with Felicity's relationship drama with Oliver, then I would say that, you know what? Iris is a pretty damn good friend, because I would not want to hear about your relationship drama after you were a shit wedding guest to me, and you ruined my special day because you wanted to get married, and you're still listening to that. So, yeah, but you guys just want to discredit a black woman and stomp on her achievements. And you know what? Oh well. Because that's how this fandom works, and I can see right through that shit, and I'm sick of it. And Caitlin is not a good person, period. And anyways, this video is longer than I intended it to be. So if you like this video, like, share, and subscribe. Leave a comment down below. Leave suggestions. And have a good one.